Good day. Well, the spinach, as you know, had gone over, and the Carouby du Mausanne Mangetout stroke peas weren't really up to much. So they've come out to make way for something else. What I did find, look, a sunflower. That's our only sunflower on the plot this year, clearly self-seeded. Whilst I've been removing the plants here and forking it over and taking out weeds, I have been closely inspected by an incumbent on this site, and he's just popped his head down. You see where that hole is? That's what's been watching me. There we are. Yes, my work was very closely scrutinised by Freddy the frog, or Frederica the frog, possibly. I don't know how to sex frogs, particularly when most of them is below the water. Do they have bits? I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. Gosh, that's got my mind going now. So, yes, welcome to another week of A Week at the Plot. And that was an amazing surprise for me to see that frog in our above ground washing up bowl pond. What I am going to do, because clearly it's in there, so it's been able to get in and out, but I'm slightly anxious that maybe it's used some of the foliage that was there to get in and out. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a brick at the side so that it can get out onto the brick and then get down into the bed and hopefully eat any slugs and snails that it finds. But that is my job for today, a very simple one. The Perpetual spinach had gone to seed, as you know. The Carouby du Mausanne peas were there. And I can now sow into that bed, and I will be sowing into that bed. We're due quite a lot of rain again overnight and into tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that bed open to the elements. And then that will mean that when it does rain, fingers crossed it does rain, when it does rain, that will moisten the soil, which will make sowing tomorrow a bit easier. I think it's going to be something very easy like rocket and salad, because we could do with more rocket and salad. We've still got some salad that we pricked out a few weeks ago, which is in modules. That's taking its while to grow. I'm really finding this year that the erratic weather that we're getting, where we're going from being really warm and dry to really wet and quite cool. It says it's 24.3 degrees in the shed today. I reckon it's most probably about 16 degrees outside, something like that. It's certainly cooler than it has been and less humid. But that's because, I don't know, why is that? I was going to say that's because we haven't had any rain, but we did have some again overnight. Maybe that breeze that we've got today is keeping the humidity down, and because we haven't got an awful lot of sun, that's keeping evaporation to a minimum. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be a seed sowing day. I'm most probably going to carry on now with something else, but I'm not quite sure what yet. Anyway, I will see you soon for another segment of A Week at the Plot, and I think it's most probably going to be about brassicas, or this week there is going to be a segment on brassicas. However, Vivi has done a fabulous brassicas planting out and protection video, so I'll link to that when this gets up on YouTube. But if you're watching this on Planet Vegetaria and you haven't seen Vivi's fab video on brassicas and the protection of them, then hop on over to her channel on YouTube and have a look. I'll try and remember to put a link to it down below, but most of you on Planet Vegetaria, I'm sure, know Vivi's channel anyway. Right, I am going to leave it there. I'm not going to waffle on, and I will see you again very soon. Bye. Good day. As we took the spinach and Mangetout stroke peas out yesterday, today we have sown 4 different potential crops, or we have sown 4 different crops for potentially 4 different harvests. At the back we've sown rocket, then we've sown parsley, then coriander, and then right at the front we've sown OutREDgeous Lettuce, which is the one that we loved so much last year. I have watered these in. We're due torrential rain again, but who knows whether it will hit this particular bed because it seems to be so localized. So I decided to do a really good watering, which is the sensible thing to do after you have sown. And fingers crossed, we will be seeing these germinate in the coming week or so. Right, very quick one today. And I'll see you again very soon for another segment of A Week at the Plot. Bye. Good day. We're at the end of Cowleaze Wood, and this is the Wormsley estate. As you can hear, there's a few planes flying over. There's a sort of small private aerodrome near here, which I think has got a flying club. We pass it on the M40. But we've just taken a walk out, well, a drive out, and then a walk through Cowleaze Wood, which is looking lovely, but no crops in the fields this year. Interesting, because I can't remember, but I think there weren't crops in this field last year either. Oh, can you see that helicopter? It's a helicopter going across the sky.
There's a bird of prey down there by the looks of it.
Where's a bird of prey? Oh, I can see sheep. I can see 4 sheep. But yeah, this is where you often see red kites. And there's always a whistle, which you might be able to hear, which I think is most probably calling sheep, but I don't know. Anyway, oh, and the Wormsley estate also has opera, which one of our Planet Vegetaria people goes to. Once the planes have gone and the helicopters have gone, it's really quite quiet. We'll leave it there. Bye. Good day. It's Friday, and it feels at the moment as though I haven't been at the plot for ages. It's actually, I popped down 2 days ago to pick some strawberries and some blueberries, and we had those with yogurt, which was absolutely lovely. Yesterday I didn't come down at all, and this morning we went for a really lovely walk up the canal and over the canal and into Hanwell Meadows. And actually that's what I'm going to show you now, because I took some footage of the 4 fields that make up the meadows on the other side of the Grand Union Canal from where our allotment is. And I'm just going to crack on here whilst you watch that and do things I need to do here. I forgot to bring my battery down, so I won't be strimming, but there's weeding to do, there's tidying to do, there's tomato cares to do. I need to call my mum, so I'll be doing that whilst I'm doing some of the tomato cares. There's watering to do. I mean, we have had so much water, yet now we've had a few days where we haven't had rain, and some of the plants, particularly the seeds that I sowed earlier in the week, they want to be watered, because of course if they're germinating in the top couple of centimeters of soil and there's no moisture there, they won't grow well. Also, I need to water in the polytunnel. Yeah, so there's things to do. So I'm going to crack on with those today. You've seen me strim before, you've seen me weed before, you've seen me water before, you've seen me tomato tinker time before. So I'm just going to let you enjoy Hanwell Meadows, and I will be back with you doing something else very soon. This is another of the meadows near where we live. I think this is Hanwell Meadows, the top of Hanwell Meadows. Down beyond that tree line and in front of those buildings that you can just see the roof of is the Grand Union Canal, which follows its path up there and then into Southall, where you can see that building work going on. Clearly no grazing on this area this year. I know the yellow flower that you can see is not good for horses, so it needs to be removed, but it does look rather spectacular. And this is one meadow down. That blue is Ealing Hospital. That crane over there is work at the top of the road that we live on. And there's Richard just down there looking at a bench. We really are very fortunate to live in this area, which has the canal and so much greenery on our doorstep. And somewhere in here, we'll have a look another day, there's some wooden sheep, some carved wooden sheep. We'll look at those another day. This is the next area. We were up there at the top on the left in the sort of pale grass area before. As you walk down, you come to this area, which is a walk-through. There's a copse there, which has got a big pond in the middle, which has got lots of frogs. And then coming down, that's the route to the canal. That's a bridge in front of that white van you can see. Another copse area that has a stream running through it. And there's Richard. And the next bit is just going to be in that gap beyond him. This is the little stream I was mentioning that runs down there. There's actually a little wooden bridge. And then if we come this way, this is another meadow area. It sort of continues along the path here. Not sure if you can see those magpies on the path. And then once we get past this tree, things open up again. And that's the last of the meadows. Right over there, behind those, the first tree line and the big trees, you can see there's the canal and also a side pond. Or in fact it's a pond, it's not a side pond of the canal, but it is a natural pond that's developed rather than a side pond that's been built. And then just over there you can see the cranes that we were talking about before. And in fact you can just about see our house. Anyway, there we are. See you soon. Bye. Good day. It is Saturday afternoon. It's just coming up to 4 o'clock and it's so quiet here today. It's just so quiet. I think on a normal Saturday we would be seeing, 10, 12 different plot holders whilst I'm down here. I've been down here since 2 o'clock, and since that time I've only seen 4 plot holders. Is there something going on today? There must be, I guess. There's football tomorrow, isn't there? And there's Wimbledon finals tomorrow. So maybe it's quarterfinals today at Wimbledon and at Wembley. I assume the teams that didn't get into the final of the football have a semi-final, but I don't know where that is. Anyway, not football people. But yeah, it's really quiet here today. But there are certain things that I'm going to get on with. I haven't had the opportunity yet. I'll come on to that in a moment. I need to water. We're due more rain tomorrow. We had some drizzle today, though there are some areas of the plot and also in the polytunnel that do need a water. Another thing that I do need to do is to weed the asparagus that are in the big tubs, because I've noticed that there are some weeds growing in the asparagus tubs, and we certainly don't want those to take hold and particularly become deep rooted. But the reason that I've been down here today, other than doing what I need to do, is because we had a photographer doing a recce. So the charity of William Hobbain, which is, how old is the charity of William Hobbain? Coming up to, so that's 1484, so that's 500, almost 540 years old. And the charity of William Hobbain has been doing great work in the local community of Hobbain since 1484 and continues to do so now. And they had a call from an international magazine, a European edition of an international magazine, saying that they'd looked at various photos of the allotments and would we be up for doing a photo shoot. So the charity contacted me and I met the photographer earlier on today, and we've had a walk around the plots and looked at what's possible, what potentially could be possible. Because what we've got to remember is an allotment is a community, and if we are going to have a photo shoot here, we need to make sure that the plot holder is happy for their plot to be used as part of that photo shoot. If something's in the background, that's fine, but if the primary focus of the shot is somebody's plot, we need to make sure that we have their approval to use it. The good thing is that if we do go ahead with the shoot, or if they decide that they do want to go ahead with the shoot here as well, that the charity will earn some money to do its good work, and the association would also earn some money, which would be unrestricted funds for us at the allotment. And when I say unrestricted funds, we split our funds into restricted and unrestricted. So each year, as well as the plot fee, each tenant pays a maintenance fee, which is only around £10 per plot. And that maintenance fee is used for things like petrol, or if we've got to get new tools, things that are actually about the maintenance of the plot. We have those are called restricted funds. We also have unrestricted funds, which a photo shoot fee would be unrestricted. And that's where we can use those funds for things that are not really about the maintenance of the plot. So if we decided that we wanted to hire, let's say, a large bouncy castle, why would we do that? But let's say we wanted to hire a large bouncy castle. We could do that with the unrestricted funds. We wouldn't be able to do that with the restricted funds. So yeah, there's a bit about restricted and unrestricted funds. Just hang on 1 second. And I'm back. Where were we? Talking about restricted, unrestricted. We said about plots. Right, so yeah, what we will do, or what we did do today, the photographer and I went around the whole site, and he was taking photographs as we were going on his mobile phone. And those photographs won't be used in a shoot. They're just recce photographs. They're photographs for his information gathering. He then went around on his own and had a closer look at some of the plots. And what he is going to do is look through the photos, discuss them with his client on Monday, and then he's going to email me the photos of plots that they would like to use, sheds, plants, that type of thing. And I will then contact those tenants to make sure they're happy to be included in the photo shoot should it happen. So at the moment, the charity's happy, I'm happy, the photographer's happy. It really comes down to his client now to make sure that they're happy with the plot and with the photos that he's taken today, so that he can come back another time with a model, and I'm sure there'll be hair and makeup and that type of thing to actually do the photo shoot. So yeah, we will know early next week whether it's going ahead or not. If it is, great, that's money for us and money for the charity. If it's not, no skin off anyone's nose. So yeah, it's great to have those opportunity, those days of difference, if you like, where something else is happening. And it was lovely to meet the guy. I've never met him before. I know a lot of photographers, but they're mainly from sort of like a decade or 2 decades ago. So, this is a photographer who's working very much now. And yeah, it was lovely to meet him. He actually comes from, he comes from somewhere in Devon. So it was nice to chat to him about that. And he actually has put his name down for an allotment at his home. But is not at the top of the list yet. So there we are. Anyway, I am going to carry on with weeding. I'm going to get on and weed the soft fruit bed before I go home. There's a few more people. I know you can mostly hear in the background. There's somebody doing some strimming. And there's a few people that since I've been recording this, I have seen come in. So maybe whatever was going on earlier has finished. I don't know. I will see you again tomorrow. What are we going to do tomorrow? I'm not sure. It might be some chat in the shed, but we've had chat in the shed today. I don't know. Tomorrow will be another day. I tell you what, tomorrow I'll show you our carrots and our parsnips. See you then. Bye. Good day. I've been tidying up the asparagus in these tubs, taking weeds out, because asparagus really do not like weeds. They're quite frondy now, or some of them are. This one in particular, and that one over there. I think that one, look, it's even gone right over there. So pretty. And so far, no asparagus beetle either, which is great. Another job I've done today, well, I've done some strimming. I've finally started tidying up, it doesn't look like it, tidying up this area, being very careful for wildlife. And I have weeded between the autumn fruiting raspberries and put cardboard down, as I did with the other soft fruit bed, and then put the 2 bags of mulch on top. They were in that pathway, and they're now on top of the cardboard. I haven't done this area yet because I may use this area as a growing area for more salads, and also because we've got wild rocket coming up there. Some more cardboard I need to put away. But let's go over to the carrots and parsnips. Oh, look at this chicory. Gorgeous. I'll keep our plot neighbour out of the photos. So here's our carrots and parsnips bed. There have been a lot of ants in this bed over the past week. Most have gone. You can see the soft soil here that they've turfed up. So Flying Ant Day, I think, was on Friday. The Met Office found on their radar a whole load of flying ants. And actually yesterday was the day that most of them left this bed, because I took the netting off a few days ago. But yeah, all of these varieties of carrots seem to be doing well. And our parsnips over here are doing okay. The interesting thing is the later sowings of parsnips I have done have not germinated. So I think I might put some turnips or something in there instead. As you can most probably hear, it's a bit breezy today. But yeah, very happy with how these carrots are developing. I haven't put my fingers down on any of them yet to determine what's happening below ground, but maybe I'll do that this week. But one thing that I have noticed, which is a little bit of a concern, I come over here, look at that. I'm not sure whether that's sun scorch or blight. I'm going to have to check, but we do have it on a few of our tomatoes, which is a shame, particularly obviously if it's blight. What I am going to do is cut any bits. If we look over here, there's some more here. Can you see? You see that there? So yeah, going to cut that off as well. I've not had any blight warnings yet, and oh, sorry, got caught on a poppy. And these are all looking okay. The bed needs a really good weed, but there's no blight on here as yet, and I haven't had any blight warnings as yet. But of course, I don't want those to be famous last words. What I will be doing is cutting off more of the lower leaves of these, because the fewer bits of leaf, the less area there is for blight spores to catch on and develop. Yeah. As you can see, I have my hat today. It does help a little bit. It helps the direct glare into my eyes anyway, which is good. Maybe the brim could be wider. Richard's got a really wide one. Happy with what I've done today. I needed to get the asparagus weeded. It seems like a little job, and it was a little job, but those little jobs, sometimes we put them off and they're so quick. I mean, it only took me, what, 10 minutes to do the 5-6 pots of asparagus that we've got and just check the plants over. But we often put off those little jobs, and then the little jobs build up and we have hours of little jobs that we need to do. Then the weeding of the second soft root bed, and particularly the mulching of that bed with the cardboard and then with that mulch that we got earlier in the year. And the carrots and the parsnips, lovely, lovely. Blight, not so much. I have cut those off. I've checked the other tomatoes. I'm going to, as I say, remove the larger lower leaves on the tomatoes to give more airflow through, which will hopefully reduce the likelihood of blight, which likes damp conditions. I have checked Blight Watch, which is a UK website which tells you if you have blight in your local area, and you normally get alerts. And I've logged on using my internet on my phone, i.e. not the one at home, but on my phone. And it's only given me the 30th of September and the 1st of October last year. I'm not sure whether that's an anomaly on my phone or whether Blight Watch is no longer active. I.e. we're no longer getting alerts, and maybe it's not funded anymore. There is another one that I have seen, and I've put my name down to sign up for that. But I haven't heard that Blight Watch in the UK has stopped running, stopped functioning. But maybe it has, or maybe it's just an anomaly on my phone. I'll have to check that out when I'm back home later and I've got more time to do that. But I'm going to leave it there. There are various things that I'm going to get on with now. It's 12:15 on Sunday. I'm going to have another 45 minutes down here, and then I'll be down again later because I've got strawberries that I want to pick and blueberries that I want to pick to have for supper this evening. So I'm going to come down again a bit later on today just to do that picking and maybe do a little bit more watering. But in the meantime, I'm going to carry on with checking the tomatoes on the plot, on the plot by the bed by the polytunnel. I'm going to check those out and see what they're looking like. But as I say, when I checked the big bed of tomatoes, there was no sign of blight on any of those leaves, and hopefully taking those leaves off with better air circulation will reduce the likelihood of blight taking hold if it is around at the moment. So there needs to be certain conditions, and basically warm, humid weather is perfect for blight to just go from plot to plot to plot and plant to plant to plant. So do check about blight in your area, and if you do know about Blight Watch, then let me know, because maybe it's no longer trading. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you again for another A Week at the Plot next week if you're watching on YouTube, or I'll see you on Planet Vegetaria through the week for our regular segments. Bye.